unidentified female suspect made her way into the Business Enterprise Park. She then approached the Rite Aid Distribution Center. It was at this time that she pulled out a handgun along with several magazines all filled with bullets. She began to shoot at her co-workers, moving around and targeting them both inside and outside of the building. After the 17 minutes of silence, this crusade of kids got up and took their march all the way to the Capitol building to make sure lawmakers could hear what they have to say. This is the final resting place of Rags, a mixed-breed terrier who became the beloved mascot of American soldiers serving in the 1st Infantry Division during World War I. Rags was a real hero, moving messages between different outposts. Another allegation that came out is that Chen was able to self-assemble one of these guns with parts that he had bought at Home Depot. Now, if Chen is convicted, he faces up to 3 years in prison. During the Civil War itself, Maryland was considered a northern state loyal to the Union. However, it did still produce thousands of troops for the Confederacy and did use slavery as an important part of its economy. At first, the differences between this movie money and an actual $100 bill are very subtle, but a closer look quickly reveals the truth. During ice-cutting missions, the ship is often stopped in thick ice. This allows the men to depart for some recreation, but also provides an opportunity to practice ice rescue scenarios. The most successful group on Sunday wasn't the white nationalists or anti-fascists, but the hundreds of men and women from the D.C. Police Department who managed to keep the event completely bloodless.
I think that we're all here in solidarity, supporting each other, and we realized, yeah, we're all here for the same reason, we're all on the same team.
That team spent the day facing off against this man, alt-right leader Jason Kessler, who was properly permitted for a rally that he had hoped would draw at least 400 loyal followers to take with him into Lafayette Park across from the White House. This was the scene at the entrances and the exits to the area where Jason Kessler and his team were demonstrating. He only brought about 30 people with him, and as you can see, he was outnumbered by the hundreds, if not thousands. But as Kessler and his group emerged from Foggy Bottom Metro, they were set upon and hounded by crowds of counter-protesters all the way to the park.
I come from a Jewish background, and I have a lot of relatives who survived the Holocaust, and these are things that they're seeing as a pattern coming back around again, and it's really scary.
Kessler and his people wanted to demonstrate in front of the White House to highlight their support of the president, but even other Trump supporters joined the counter-protest to voice their displeasure.
I want to make sure that the media gets the message that I, as a Trump supporter, do not support what those people are saying.
Police shut down several streets and kept the two sides from openly clashing. Also, members from some of these anti-fascist groups said they were there for last year's street fighting in Charlottesville and wanted to set a more peaceful tone this time around.
No Nazis! No KKK! No fascist USA!
In Washington, D.C., Michael Gordon, I-270 News. In the fight to prevent future school shootings, this is the front line. It began at Blair High School with hundreds of kids taking their cause to the Silver Spring Metro Station.
I'm really angry that this has happened to so many kids, and I don't want anyone to have to tell my mom that I was one of the 17 that didn't make it.
As student walkouts get organized across the country, Montgomery County kids realize that they have a unique chance to make a difference.
We're taking advantage of our location. We're in D.C. We want to have these politicians see and hear us and have our voices be heard to the people that are actually the most important in making these decisions.
Armed with signs, chants, and allies from other Montgomery County schools, this crusade of kids stormed toward the halls of Congress.
Hands up, don't shoot! Hands up, don't shoot! Hands up, don't shoot! Hands up, don't shoot! Thoughts and prayers are not enough. Congress needs to step it up. Thoughts and prayers are not enough. Congress needs to step it up. We have a voice. We have a voice.
Those voices were heard by one man in particular that the crowd was happy to see.
And I came out of my office to say, I am with you 100%. We need a national, universal criminal background check in the United States of America. We need a ban on military-style assault weapons that are being used to destroy young people.
From there, the crowd turned its attention to an even bigger target, the White House.
Our message for the president is we need gun reform now because we can't lose another human life to an AR-15 rifle. We are sending all of the representatives who vote for the NRA, who have NRA money in their pockets. We're sending them home.
Although there were more than 1,000 people marching, the demonstration was done peacefully and without incident. In Washington, D.C., Michael Gordon, I-270 News. This was Vivian Bailey in 1942 after she enlisted in the Women's Army Corps. And this is Vivian today, surrounded by friends and family as she rings in her 100th birthday.
I feel blessed that I'm reaching the age that I am, and I feel honored that so many people felt they wanted to come out today. I had no idea they were doing this, so it's a big surprise.
Bailey quickly became a leader within the WAC and was one of the few female African-American officers in the armed forces. Her unit handled dozens of important administrative and support tasks for military bases.
Within that detachment were a number of enlisted people who did everything from transportation to working clerical work, and she was the person who organized their duties. She ran that unit.
Bailey, lovingly referred to by friends as Millie, has many happy memories of her time in the Army, although there were some difficult moments. Although Vivian never fought in combat, she did battle her way through racism while serving in the Deep South.
And the whites had not seen many Negro soldiers, had not seen any Negro officers. And this white lady looked toward me and spit at me and said, "Look at that black."
After the war, Millie spent decades making and distributing care packages for fighting troops overseas. She's also raised thousands of dollars to help local students take part in educational field trips. For all her hard work, she was given this citation by Lieutenant Governor Boyd Rutherford, who considers her one of the trailblazers who cleared the way for integration.
And it should be inspiring to a lot of people, particularly nowadays where we all kind of complain about the little slights and setbacks, and understand what she dealt with so many years ago.
In Howard County, Michael Gordon, I-270 News. The mother of all rallies didn't quite live up to its name, attracting less than 3,000 people, but those attending insisted that their voices represented millions more across the country.
The number of people and the excitement generated across the whole country to bring all kinds, hundreds of different groups and people together and just be here with the support and the backing of everyone else is fantastic.
During the day, I spoke with rally attendees from Michigan, Indiana, California, and just down the street in Montgomery County, Maryland.
I actually am now a Republican. I used to be a Democrat. I left after 2014, having worked on the gubernatorial race. The corruption that I saw in Maryland and Montgomery County is absolutely positively from the Democratic Party.
The rally was meant to be nonpartisan and peaceful, which it was for the most part. Dozens of police officers on foot, on bike, and on horseback rallied to flashpoints like these anytime conflict broke out between Trump supporters and those here to protest the president. Violence was avoided, although tempers did flare up between Trump supporters and members of the opposition group known as Antifa.
There are a number of people in the crowd with racist symbols. I saw someone with an Aryan terror symbol written on his helmet, and he was also wearing a racist symbol on his shirt. I saw someone with a different person with a racist tattoo, and white supremacist symbols are all around us right now.
The crowd was drawn to several speakers and anxiously awaited one feature in particular, the Unity Bridge.
And it's been through 40 states right now, 47,000 miles, and we just escorted it down from Detroit. And actually, it just got vandalized yesterday over in Virginia.
And when that bridge did arrive, it caused the loudest and proudest applause of the day. In Washington, D.C., Michael Gordon, I-270 News.